Guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to show one of the companies in the industrial sector which attracted my attention today, and I'll show you why. And I find this company quite interesting to follow further, and I speak about Linde PLC, and let's see what they are saying about themselves. We are a leading global industrial gases and engineering company serving a variety of end markets such as chemicals and energy, food and beverages, electronics, healthcare, manufacturing, metals and mining. It's a really wide range of products that they are making. Also, they mentioned that our industrial gases and technologies are used in countless applications, including production of clean hydrogen and carbon capture systems, life-saving medical oxygen, and high purity and specialty gases for electronics. We also deliver state-of-the-art gas processing solutions to support our customers. Let's move on. Then I opened the latest financial report, which was delivered on 31st of October this year, and on one of the first slides we can see actually the percentage of sales which belong to these different markets. So as you can see, healthcare, food and beverage, electronics, manufacturing, chemicals and energy, metals and mining, and they are more or less equally distributed within the sales. Here you can have a look the way they perform financially. So that's the latest results. I look at the diluted earnings per share. They delivered $4.21, which is 7% gain in comparison with last year same quarter. You can familiarize yourself with other numbers. Then we can see the guidance for the next quarter. Basically they say that it's gonna be 3 to 6% gain in comparison with the same quarter in 2024, and for whole 2025 year is gonna be 5 to 6% gain, which does not seem to be a lot, but we can add to it the dividends that they pay. They are considered to be as a blue chip company. They increase their dividends for more than 30 years, and as of today the dividend yield is about 1.5%, which does not seem a lot, but every year for the last few years they increase their dividends for about 8-9%. Also they pay dividends quarterly. Okay, let's move on. There is one more thing that I wanted to show. Yes, we know about their diversification, about the market perspective, but also let's have a look on the geography for the backlog, and which brings my attention to that the biggest piece of this pie belongs to Americas, which I don't really like, because when the majority comes from one place it brings a bit more risks, especially with all this tariffs game, etc. However, when we speak about Americas, it doesn't mean that everything belongs to USA. Some part of it will be also Canada. And let me show you why actually this company attracted my attention and why I wanted to make a video about it. When I went through the news, I found that the company Linde and its CEO, and his name is, I hope I'll pronounce it right, Sanjeev Lamba, acquired 2,520 shares, and it's worth roughly $1 million. And here is the document itself. This is the Security Exchange Commission Form 4, where each insider of the company which is listed in USA, they have to complete this form, and this is basically shows the position of the person, his name, his action, it was a purchase, the date, it's not 12th of August, it's 8th of December 2025. So he acquired shares with the price, average price would be $396.68 US. When I see quite a big insider purchase, which is 1 million, it might, for someone it might not sound quite a big one, but in comparison with what the CEOs of such companies earn, it's still $1 million which they bring from their pocket instead of spending it, instead of buying a new, I don't know, Ferrari or something. They buy shares of the company where they work, and especially when the chief executive officer is doing so, it brings me extra security in this purchase. And I've also decided to have a look who is Sanjeev Lamba, and this is the gentleman, and as you can see, director, executive committee member. And it mentioned here his history of work. Let's read it. Sanjeev Lamba was appointed chief executive officer of Linde in March 2022. So basically he's in the position for about 3.5 years. So when he also joined the board of directors. Prior to being appointed CEO, Mr. Lamba was chief operating officer after serving as executive vice president in this region. Also, Mr. Lamba started his career back in 1989 with the BOC India in finance. It also belonged to the company of Linde. Was appointed director of finance and subsequently managing director for the India business in 2001. He has worked in a number of geographies for Linde, including India, UK, Singapore and Germany, where he served as a member of the executive board of Linde AG. When you as an investor bring your money into one of the company, you basically showing the trust to the management team of the company. So you are relying on their decisions and their experience, how they're going to execute. And when I see such a portfolio of the positions that he was taking and the geographies and everything makes me feel extra reliable on this gentleman's experience. Okay, let's move on. So when I open the trend of the company, you can see that it's quite nice, almost vertical trend going up. And if we have a look on the today's price, it's around $404. This price was 2 years ago. And this is the point where the CEO of the company bought his $1 million worth of shares. As you can see, the dividends are being paid quarterly. The last year they've been paying $1.5 every quarter for every share. So next quarter I believe it's gonna be increase, and they pay for the last few years about 40% was their payout ratio. But as you can see, since October this year the company fell roughly 18%. And then I thought, okay, we see some kind of a dip here. Are there any issues within the company, or is it an industry-based decline? So I went to Google Gemini and I was asking about the competitors of this company. That's Linde PLC is a global leader in the industrial gas market, and its main competitors are other major international industrial gas companies, and the top global competitors primarily include Air Liquide, which is based in France, and Air Products and Chemicals. So let's have a look on them. This is the trend of Air Liquide from France, and we can see also there is a decline for about 15%. Then it was Air Products and Chemicals. We see the same issue here. It's not a specific stock or company issue here, and we have definitely the whole industry worries. And let's see what are they. I've asked again Gemini what was the reason, and it mentions that the stock price declines for these companies since October, generally to a combination of softening industrial demand, specific financial results from a key competitor, and broader economic concerns. The first of all, it says about weakness in a global industrial demand, that there are some softer volumes from Air Liquide and Air Products, and this is definitely something we have to keep on tracking. How are the things going in the economy, and this is one of the concerns. Then it was that Air Products earnings and strategic reset, so they released their earnings in November 2025, and this weighed on the entire sector. They missed the earnings. So the company missed analyst consensus estimates for both revenue and adjusted earnings per share for the quarter ending September 2025. Also, they mentioned that there is a 5% drop in volumes for the quarter. And obviously that other players within the industry suffer from this as well, because it's kind of a sign that if one company has drop in the volumes, it might be reflected in the other company as well. And also the third reason mentioned as energy market and macroeconomic factors. We can have a look at that, but this is the most common factors, basically saying about how the economy feels in general. So this is something that we have to keep in mind as a risk factors. But this dip that happened with the Linde, as I mentioned again, the insider, the CEO, decided to buy the dip worth of $1 million. Let's also have a look what the analysts say about the company, about their target. These are the analyst agencies, and the latest ones made today. Mizuho gives a target of 495, Evercore 490, CT 520, and RBC Capital 490. Let's see what does TipRanks ratings say, that the average price target would be $497. And we can see each analyst name, who and from which firm he is and what does he say. Then the TipRanks sentiment again, it's saying that the average is 497 with the low 455 and the high 540. Let me remind you that it's 404 at the moment, and the Morningstar gives the fair value $470 US. So as always, combining all the facts together, first of all we have their earning results that was at the end of October this year. We've got the guidance for the next quarter and for the full year. Then we have a quite substantial insider purchase made by CEO of the company. Then we had a look who is the CEO of the company, and it brings me again the respect to what he has been doing in his career. Then we had a look at what the analysts say about their estimate fair price value, and we know that the latest price decline here, it was not the company related, but it's a whole sector was influenced by, actually it was that Air products delivered softer results, and as a result of their earnings and drop in the volumes, the other companies went down as well. But we've seen their report and it was quite positive. In overall, I'd like to keep monitoring this company further, and for me this company sounds like a very reliable blue chip company which is very diversified. With investment in this company I could be feeling more or less secure, as much as it can be within the stock market, and I know that they are paying quarterly dividends, which gives me extra compounding for the capital deployed. So in general, I will keep following and tracking what's going on, and I will add it to my monitoring list, and we'll see how it's gonna execute in the future. Meantime, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was a bit useful for you. If so, please hit the like button and please leave the comment, especially if you follow the company, and if I forgot to mention something important, it would be nice to know from you what additional detail I have to pay attention to. And please subscribe to my channel if you wish to do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.